Nestled deep within the ancient forests of the Pacific Northwest lies Camp Whispering Pines, a summer retreat for adventurous kids and teens. Every year, campers gather to explore the woods, swim in the lake, and sit around the campfire sharing stories. This year, the camp counselors include Jake, a seasoned guide with a mysterious past, and Sam, a friendly but easily scared newcomer. Among the campers are 12-year-old Emma, her best friend Liam, who loves science and skepticism, and Avery, a quiet girl with a vivid imagination. The story takes place during one memorable summer night, as the sun sets and the forest comes alive with whispers. Camp Whispering Pines was nestled deep within an ancient forest. The tall trees seemed to whisper secrets in the wind. Legends told of spirits that roamed the woods at night. But to the campers and counselors, these were just stories to tell around the fire. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and shadows stretched across the camp, Jake gathered the campers around the fire. The flames danced in the twilight, casting eerie shapes against the trees. "Have you ever heard of the Pine Whisperer?" Jake asked, his voice low and filled with suspense. The campers leaned in, eyes wide with anticipation. Emma, always the brave one, nodded. "Tell us." Jake glanced around the circle, making sure everyone was listening. "Many years ago, a young girl named Eliza disappeared into these woods. They searched for weeks, but she was never found. Some say her spirit still roams the forest, whispering to those who dare to listen." Liam scoffed. "That's just a story. Ghosts aren't real." Jake's expression turned serious. "Believe what you will, but never ignore the whispers of the pines. They say if you hear Eliza's voice, you should never follow it." Later that night, as the campers settled into their tents, Emma and Liam lay awake, the story playing on their minds. "Do you think it's true?" Emma whispered. Liam shook his head. "There's always a logical explanation." Just then, a faint whispering drifted through the air, barely audible. Emma's eyes widened. "Did you hear that?" Liam frowned. "It's just the wind." But the whisper came again, clearer this time. "Help me." Emma sat up. "We should check it out." Liam hesitated but nodded, curiosity getting the better of him. They quietly slipped out of their tent and tiptoed towards the forest. Avery, who had been listening, decided to follow them, not wanting to miss the adventure. The deeper they went, the stronger the whispers became. "This way. Help me." They reached a clearing, the moonlight casting an ethereal glow. There, in the center, stood a girl in an old-fashioned dress, her eyes wide with fear. "Eliza?" Emma asked, her voice trembling. The girl nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I've been lost for so long. Can you help me?" Liam's skepticism wavered. "How can we help?" "Follow me," she whispered, turning towards a path deeper into the woods. As they followed, the air grew colder, the trees closing in around them. Emma glanced back and realized Avery was missing. "Where's Avery?" Panic set in, but the girl kept moving. "We're almost there." They arrived at an old abandoned cabin, its windows shattered and door hanging off its hinges. The girl turned to them, her expression changing from fear to something else, something sinister. "Thank you for coming." Suddenly the whispers grew louder, surrounding them. Shadows moved in the darkness, and a cold wind howled through the trees. The girl's face twisted into a grotesque smile. "Now you'll stay with me. Forever." Emma and Liam tried to run, but the shadows closed in, pulling them towards the cabin. Just as they were about to be consumed, a flashlight beam cut through the darkness. "Emma! Liam!" It was Jake and Sam with Avery in tow. The shadows recoiled and the girl screamed, disappearing into the night. Jake pulled Emma and Liam to safety, and they raced back to camp. Once safe by the fire, Jake spoke softly. "The forest is filled with many spirits, some lost and some malevolent. You were lucky this time. Emma, shaken but relieved, nodded. We'll never ignore the whispers again. The next day, the campers tried to go back to their normal activities, but they couldn't stop thinking about the night before. They talked about it among themselves, each adding their own theories and fears. Do you think Eliza is still out there? Avery asked quietly. Jake overheard and nodded. The forest is her home now, but as long as you stay near the fire at night, you'll be safe. That night, as the campers sat around the fire once more, Jake decided to tell them another story. This time, it was a happier one about the good spirits that protected the camp. The campers listened intently, comforted by the warm glow of the fire and Jake's reassuring words. But even as they laughed and shared marshmallows, Emma and Liam couldn't help but glance towards the dark forest, where the trees whispered secrets only they could hear. From that night on, whenever the wind whispered through the pines, the campers of Whispering Pines knew to stay close to the fire, where the light could keep the darkness at bay. They learned to respect the stories and the warnings, understanding that some legends are more than just tales. They are a part of the very soul of the forest. So, here we are, guys, with another spooky campfire story. Gather around the fire and get ready to be scared. If you like the story and want to hear more, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Only if you're brave enough for more chills. See you next time.